I've been talking about Josh Rosen a lot. He's a very interesting case. And I've been asking all of my guests what they think because I'm trying to get as much information as possible because honestly, I don't understand. I've never really seen the NFL give up on a top 10 pick before he turned 24. It's quite remarkable. So, Jason, please explain what's going on there and what you see from this kid.
So when Josh Johnson was added to the practice squad, I started banging the table. If we're bringing Josh's in, why are we not bringing in Josh Rosen? Because I know what Josh Johnson is. Josh Johnson is not an NFL quarterback. Do I know what Josh Rosen is? I don't. And here's why. Look, 1 year of being stuck in Arizona with Mike McCoy as his play caller, and then he gets dumped to Miami. He doesn't start in Miami. Then when he's thrown in there, Miami's roster is barren. And they're not, you know, they weren't where they are now. They were moving in the right direction. But look, is there a world that Josh Rosen's bad? Yes. Can I say that certainly? No. So this is why I advocated just bring him on the practice squad and see what happens, right? Here's the thing. If you want to see some big boy NFL Josh Rosen throws, it's so funny to me. It's his first start ever.
Yes.
Incredible. In his first start ever against the Seattle Seahawks, which at that time still had Earl Thomas. That's the game where Earl Thomas flipped off the bench.
Oh.
So that's the same game. There are some big boy throws on tape there that, you know, you even sit there and say, wow, there it is. Having said that, that's the only game that I really have seen those sort of throws.
That's true. And all I'm saying is, look, he hasn't played well in the NFL, but neither is Sam Darnold, right? I mean, to me, they're the same, except Sam Darnold has been on one team, one bad team, and gotten every benefit of the doubt, whereas Rosen is done. And I'm thinking, like, what is the difference? What is the difference? Maybe it's that Darnold's a little bit more mobile, but that's not it. I don't think it has anything to do with the physicality. I think it has to do with their personalities, whatever the hell that means.
It could be that. I think that if you ask me who has the bigger arm is Darnold. Also, don't discount the fact that people, once you get with Adam Gase, will automatically give you a pass saying you were stuck with that dude. And because, look, Ryan Tannehill played well in his first year with Adam Gase, but clearly you saw when he got away from him, he was good. You know, Devontae Parker got better. Pretty much anybody who had issues with Adam Gase when they got away from him, they ended up playing well. I think that's sort of the thought process with Darnold, where everybody says, "Hey, man, Gase is too much to overcome." You know, the game planning, the way you know, and that's fine. But the same thing can be said for Josh Rosen.
That's what I'm saying. I have a feeling that Josh Rosen wouldn't have been afforded the Adam Gase excuse. And then I keep coming back to why. What is it about Josh Rosen? And what is it about Darnold that everyone's like, hold on, give him one more chance, give him one more. And I honestly, let me just say, I think it comes back to their personalities, whatever that means. Sam Darnold is an all-American kid. He's blonde, probably Christian, just an all-American normal guy. Nothing wrong with that. Rosen is an LA Jew. He says he's not Jewish, but he's ethnically Jewish. He looks Jewish. He sounds Jewish. And, you know, in the NFL, it's like being a Martian. Like,
I think
he's a Martian.
I think really what it is that picture of him in that little hot tub indoors. Like that one, I would look at that and say,
I just feel like people look at him and they're like, they're just skeptical. Like, I've never seen anything like you. There's no precedent of a person like you working in the NFL. So I'm going to nitpick you to death. I don't like this about you. I don't like that about you. Like, and you always hear people say, like, he's rich. How much does he really love football? Like,
I hate that.
Jimmy Garoppolo is rich. Jimmy Garoppolo has $100 million. And I haven't really seen him fighting to play. But everyone says, no, you don't even ask that question for him. Why? Because he's Italian? Because he grew up working class in Chicago? What? So really what you're saying is, hey, man, this kid's Jewish. Like, does he really want to play? Is he tough? Does he love football? Like, he just played on a practice squad for you. I feel like these questions are very coded, and it kind of annoys me. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. If his name
seems like it annoys you.
If his name was Josh Darnold and he had blonde hair, and it'd be like he'd be getting a lot of belief from people. I don't know.
They're in similar situations, right? Because I think, you know, to put a bow on everything is that there's potential. Who can tap into it? And will you take a chance on that? And I think that sums Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold up at this point. They're both in the same draft class, right?
Yes. And they played in the same city. Josh Rosen was more highly regarded coming out of high school. And I'm going to finish it with this. The last thing that Mike Shanahan said about them that really stuck out to me, this was in 2018. He said, you know, Josh Rosen has the best arm I've ever seen. It's better than Troy Aikman's. The thing about him is He's rich. You don't know how much he loves the game. You got to find that out. And it wasn't like a damning thing. It was just like, I have a question. That's what the league has. Then he goes to Darnold and he goes, yeah, everyone loves Sam. Coaches love Sam. Teammates love Sam. It's like, okay, All-American kid. Have you heard a bunch of teammates in the NFL saying, I love Sam Darnold. He's great. I haven't heard that. He's a young kid who needs to prove himself. Have you heard a bunch of teammates in the NFL say, Josh Rosen is a weirdo. I can't play with this dude. Like they talk about with Kirk Cousins. No.
One more funny thing. Larry Fitzgerald loved Josh Rosen.
That's what I'm saying.
Like loved him. You know, and that's something that I had to look up myself. But his quotes on Josh Rosen were through the roof, and he only played what, 10 games?
That's right. The other thing Mike Shanahan said about Josh Rosen, he likes politics.
What?
Oh my God. He likes politics. Like basically, he's smart, he's a free thinker, he's liberal. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, great.
None of that. That's not any way to evaluate a quarterback.
Anyway.